6-0 at home in the regular season with Lamar Jackson starting. They beat the Browns here in Week 17 last year to clinch the division, in case you forgot. It's the second matchup as starting QBs between Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson. Mayfield is the only starting quarterback with more picks than touchdowns in Week 4. Look, by all accounts, it hasn't been a great start for Baker this season. The team is 1-2. He's had 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, only completing 57% of his passes. Now, on Get Up on Monday, Rex Ryan was asked for his assessment of the second-year quarterback. He gave it, and it didn't exactly go over well in Cleveland.
And this Baker Mayfield, yeah, I know he's overrated as hell. What's he doing right, Greeny? Because I'm going to look at this. Here's a guy right now that is a one-read guy, and then he's going to improvise.
Is he a one-read quarterback? No, he's not. I mean, that's asinine to even say.
At the end of the day, when we go out there, no offense to Rex, because I love him, but we don't really care what you said. You know, we go out there and play football. This is our livelihood.
It's whatever. I mean, in the wise words of Freddie Kitchens, if you don't wear orange and brown, you don't matter. And Rex Ryan doesn't have any colors right now for a reason, so it's okay.
Well, today he's in orange and brown, just to make sure his opinion matters.
In orange and brown.
So can you tell us why? You said he's overrated. You said he's a one-read guy. His coach says he's not. His teammates are backing him up. Why do you believe that?
Well, no, I mean, I'm just basing things on fact, what I see. Look, I only have 30 years coaching experience, 20 in the NFL, so I can see where he questioned me. But I'm going to tell you this, Sam. Baker Mayfield better be happy I'm not in the black and purple today on that sideline, because he'd be in trouble. But I am going to say this. Here's one thing I know about Baker Mayfield. He, unlike any other quarterback in the National Football League, Sam, he's got 2 Pro Bowl receivers that he's throwing to. No other team can say that. They got 2 of them. And by the way, this offensive line that's been much maligned, they're ranked second in pass protection. So I don't get it. Where's the correlation? I don't know. He's been sacked the 6th most times in the NFL. So something's not jiving. Well, why don't we go to the tape and let's see what I'm seeing here and base things on fact. We're going to get down to this one read, I call it. We're in the end zone, game on the line. It's a simple high-low pass right here. He's going to look there. He's doubled. He's going to throw it. Oh, he throws to number 1. Why? Because you always get locked in. Jarvis Landry, that Pro Bowl receiver, is wide open in the end zone. He's 2. That's for the game. That's a game winner. Now you're going to look at it. 4th down. Look at that pocket. Oh, my gosh. Number 1 read is Odell Beckham. He's got the middle. Just run in there. Hey, the guy that you ripped in the offseason, Danny Dimes, yeah, he did the same play for a touchdown. He's not seeing it. He's seeing one guy, and that's it. He's going to go out, improvise. Here, how much time you need back there? He's waiting on Odell Beckham, locked in on one receiver again. It's going to be 4 seconds, and he's going to blame the offensive line for this one, too? Give me a break, man. Like, come on. You got to get down, learn your reads. I don't know if it's the offense or what. Here's going to be a simple blitz, a corner blitz. Everybody in Pop Warner knows. Look at Odell was looking for the ball. Get him the football. What are you doing? That's not even a number 1 read. That's an automatic read, and he's missing it. And by the way, the worst thing, Matt?
Fumble.
He fumbled. How do you fumble backed up? At least protect the football. So that's why I'm saying, look, this guy was ranked. He got Pat Mahomes is the favorite to win the MVP. Baker Mayfield is second in our league. Why is he overrated? I never voted him second in the league to be MVP. Now, Teddy, you and I sat here, and both of us said, we're all in on the Browns.
We did.
After watching this, I'm like, come on, man. Don't be the weak link. You're supposed to be Joe Superstar. Go prove it right there. And I am wearing this orange and whatever that brown color is.
You look great.
Thank you.
But, Matt, you're the only expert at the position this table. Give me a little cred. Is he right? Is he a one-read quarterback?
Well, this is what I see. I see Baker Mayfield from last year to Baker Mayfield from this year running an offense I don't recognize. Last year it was a high completion percentage. Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, is a very, very accurate thrower. He's a good rhythm thrower. He throws from the pocket on time. Last year, this year, and I don't know if it's because they're trying to please the new weapons. Rex, you mentioned the 2 Pro Bowl receivers. Those are 2 very, very talented wide receivers. And sometimes as a play caller and as a play designer, you can get enamored with what you could do. But I think the skill set of Baker Mayfield is better when he gets the ball out of his hands and into the hands of the athletes. It's okay if you throw it short and then they run for it. And it's okay if you throw it short, throw it short, and then throw it deep. And I don't see that. I feel like they're trying to run like this old school Jeff George vertical passing game, and I don't think that's the best fit for Baker Mayfield, and that's why I think you see him holding on to the ball too long, and you see them not winning games that we thought maybe
Matt,
they should.
what I see is, and Teddy, just to jump in real quick, what I see is you're right. This guy's as accurate as it gets when it's that one read and the ball comes out on time. He's phenomenal that way. He's just not picking up the second read, and that's my whole thing right now.
And I also feel like this offense is a work in progress. Like Baker's a work in progress. I think Freddie Kitchens, to some extent, is a work in progress. They added Todd Monken, who's new, came from Tampa.
There's a lot of new.
There's a lot of work in progress. OBJ is new, and so they have not clicked yet.
And that's what I said all this year. It's like there's a lot of learning that's going to have to be done by this team as they go on. Do I still think this is a quality football team? Yes. Do I still believe in Baker Mayfield as a quarterback? Yes. It's his second year in the league. I see improvement. I think this player is one of the faces of the NFL in the future. That's how good I think Baker Mayfield is at the quarterback position. The Browns also, I still think they can battle back. This is just a sign for me of immaturity in the locker room. He talked about the wise words of Freddie Kitchens, who's not wearing orange and brown. Here's some wise words of Bill Belichick. Ignore the noise and do your job. Don't worry about anything else that's on the outside of that facility. And when you acknowledge all of it, you're letting it inside. That's a fact. Was he a one-read quarterback on some of those plays you showed? Yes. Was he playing terribly in some of those calls? Was the play calling suspect by Freddie Kitchens, a new head coach? Fact. And here's the last fact. They are young. They are still learning, but watch this. Is it possible for the Browns to come around and beat the Ravens today?
Oh, heck yeah.
I do think that's possible, but so much immaturity, so much lack of consistently winning experience is not there, and it's just evident to me.
Hey, John Harbaugh talked about how talented this team was. He acknowledged that this might be the most, talented team in the league, and it ticked off his players, his own team. But they are. We talked about it. Myles Garrett, that defense is playing well. Like, come on, man. Could they win this game? Absolutely, they can win it.
There's a lot of things that tape both of you guys that you put up that I would have to agree with. But I think it really starts with Coach Kitchens, the head coach. It means a lot to the team. It means a lot to the offense when you have an offensive-minded coach that supposedly had put his stamp on this team last season when he took over. And now that he became the head coach, there's a lot of things that they needed to clean up, and mainly from the last 2 weeks, because everybody's talking about the protection. They're putting multiple wide receivers on the field. They're trying to please their stars. There are a lot of offenses with less talent that's getting more out of their team than the Cleveland Browns. So I really think that it really starts up front, and I don't mean with the offensive line. It starts with the head coach to be able to simplify some of that offense for big plays and to move that offense up and down that field. So it starts with Coach Kitchens first.
Well said, Randy.
You know what, Rex? I think you gave this guy a gift, because Baker Mayfield spent the whole offseason shooting commercials and getting all sorts of love. And that's not what makes Baker Mayfield Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, his entire career through college and before that, has been doubted. People counted him out. I think he operates better when people start, if you want to say, hating on him a little bit. We'll see if it has an impact out there today. The biggest impact I think we'll see out there today is on his defense. 3 of his starters in the secondary are out today with injuries. That could be a big issue against Lamar Jackson. Our Sal Palantonio is live in Baltimore with the very latest. Good morning, Sal.
SB, let's get right to that news. Denzel Ward, starting corner, out with a hamstring injury, second straight week for him. Greedy Williams out with a hamstring injury, second straight week for him. Morgan Burnett out with a quad injury. Just got the news he's not going to play in the game. They do get Demarius Randall back at safety. He was in the concussion protocol. But if they're going to beat the #1 offense in the NFL, the Ravens, at home today, they're going to have to do it without 3/4 of their secondary. Freddie Kitchens told his team, this Ravens team is one of the most physical in the NFL, perhaps the most physical we will play all year. We have to be ready to match their intensity for 4 straight quarters. One last injury note for the Ravens. This is a shocker. Starting defensive tackle Brandon Williams, their best defensive lineman, out. Last-minute scratch with a knee injury. That means Dalen Mack, a rookie SP, will make his first NFL start. Back to you.
Wow, a big game for your first NFL start. A lot of injury news today. All right, it's time to get to game picks. First, we'll start with our standings.
Hey, give me that five. Come on.
Oh, my God.
How long
Sam's
can it
running
last?
away with it.
In
Wow.
week 4, I'm still
I like their
feeling good.
uniforms. I like their uniforms.
Really, Matt? Really? You're not making game picks. Get him out of here. I'm making an executive decision. So, guys,
Yes.
what do we think today? Let's start with the Vikings and the Bears. Teddy, who are you
Okay,
taking with
Vikings
this
and Bears, two great defenses, Sam, but that's great Chicago Bears defense. Akeem Hicks hasn't practiced all week long. I think Dalvin Cook's going to get that running game going. I'm going to go with the Vikings here. Kirk Cousins, just limit those mistakes. Take care of that football, coach. I'm going with the Vikings in that D.
Teddy, that's exactly what I was going to say, because how good is Hicks? Well, I can tell you he can handle that running game himself. But if he's – and look, even if he plays, he's not going to be 100%. And I kind of agree with you on this. Dalvin Cook, he's been an absolute stud. I'm taking them also.
Teddy, you just talking about limiting mistakes at the quarterback position. Yes, I'm talking about Kirk Cousins for the Minnesota Vikings. Guess what? He has the league leading rusher in the backfield with him. Dalvin Cook, you're looking good. Offensive line, keep blocking for him. I'm going with the Vikings.
Well, I really hope I'm right because I'm trying to catch Sam in first place. But Mort mentioned it earlier. The non-quarterback MVP of the league so far, Dalvin Cook. We mentioned Khalil Mack is great, but you can't get a sack on a running play. So I expect Mike Zimmer, Kevin Stefanski to be feeding and feeding and feeding Dalvin Cook today, all different ways. I'll take the Vikings.
Kirk Cousins could be an X factor in that one if they're able to stop the run. All right, Teddy, let's get to Chiefs and Lions at Ford Field. Who are you taking in this one?
I just think of the conditions, and I think of it indoors, and I think of that turf, and I do like the way Lions are playing defense, and they got some good things going, but not today. Not today. These Chiefs are going to be too explosive, and to contain that type of offense for 4 quarters. I'm not talking about staying close, winning the game. The Chiefs will win this game.
I'm looking at it this way. I was tempted to take Detroit because, hey, that Darius Slay can lock them down. Well, guess what? He's not playing this week. So no way in heck am I going to take Detroit in this one. The Chiefs, Pat Mahomes, too tough here. Feed Shady McCoy or whoever the heck you got back there. I think it's going to be tough sledding for Detroit.
Hey, this is a tough matchup for the Detroit Lions. Coach Matty Patricia is going to throw all types of game stunts at Patrick Mahomes. But guess what, Rex? They have too many weapons. They have already showed it. It's in the film. Going with the Chiefs and Patty Mahomes.
Okay, last 2 years, Chiefs are averaging 37 points per game on the road. So you got 2 ways to do this if you're Detroit. You can just try to run the ball and hold, keep them on the sidelines, or you could go fireworks. I think they're going to try to do both. Matty Stafford's going to try to do it. Kerryon Johnson. I just don't think it's enough. I'll take the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and there's also the element that Matthew Stafford's playing banged up. Mort told us earlier with a hip injury. All right, let's get to Panthers and Texans. Kyle Allen on the road in Houston. Can you do it, Teddy? Can you take the Panthers in this one?
No, I can't. I'm taking the Texans here. And can I talk about a great defender that hasn't got a lot of credit? Whitney Merciless for the Houston Texans. Straight out baller, been playing good all year. Where's Clowney? Well, they don't miss him, okay? And Merciless is a big reason why getting after the quarterback. This guy's been all over the field. Solid player, Whitney Merciless. Go get that win, Whitney.
I tell you, an underrated guy is that DJ Reader in there in that inside push. And I look at it this way, man, oh man, you got a backup quarterback. I don't care how good he looked last week. I got to take Houston. Deshaun Watson. Woo. He is absolutely, if it wasn't for Pat Mahomes, he'd be the league MVP.
Hey, I want to go with the Houston Texans, but you heard me say earlier, I reside down there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Kyle Allen, I love everything that you're doing. 4 touchdowns last week. It will be a tough matchup going against that Romeo Crennel defense, but I believe that you got CMC in the background. Carolina Panthers.
Wow. This is a tough one. This is a tough game to pick. I think I'm going to go Kyle Allen, and the reason why is Norv Turner. I believe in Norv Turner's offense. I think Kyle Allen's running it really well, and I think he's going to dish it around, and Greg Olsen, he's showing up. I like it.
Well, and the exciting thing for the Texans, too, Deshaun Watson, week 1, 6 sacks, week 2, 4 sacks. Week 3, 2 sacks. Does that mean Deshaun Watson doesn't get sacked today?
Maybe.
Because that would be a small miracle. This guy might get a few sacks today. He had 2 last week, looking for another big game against the Panthers out there today.
Wake up. Hey, wake up. This is Sunday NFL Countdown.
Coming up, as Dak Prescott leads the undefeated Cowboys into the Big Easy for their toughest test yet, we've got the Cowboys QB mic'd up.
I love the polo tie cowboy hat. I just gave me chill.